Tonight, your opinion matters. Welcome to Comic News Weekly. Sit down, buckle up, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. Hit the thumbs up button. Big news out of New York Comic Con this past weekend. CBCS's new labels are officially announced, and the pictures are out there, and the people at the show got to see it. And your opinion matters. We want to know what you guys have to think about the new CBCS labels. Leave a comment down below if you're watching this on the replay. Get into the live chat tonight. If you're just sitting there laying on the couch watching us and hanging out, let's talk about it. We want to hear what you guys have to think, and we've got a fine, fantastic, amazing panel tonight to talk about this because I'm kind of excited. You guys that have been on the with the channel for a long time know how I felt about CBCS cases and labels over the last 10 years or so, and we're going to talk about it. Sit back, buckle up, subscribe. It really helps out, and enjoy your time tonight with Comic News Weekly. Without further ado, we're jumping right into the panel introductions tonight because we're not keeping you all waiting. The man, the myth, the bearded legend, the man that's beyond comic books, beyond everything else. It's Bryan McClay from Beyond Wednesdays. What's up, brother?
Hey, chilling, bro. I'm looking forward to the conversations tonight.
I'm looking forward to. You got me really pumped after your show this past weekend, talking a bit about the CBCS labels, and never am I really one to want to just completely get soaked into a show and like it so much that I copy it, but we really wanted to talk about the CBCS labels more as a community, not just one channel to another channel, but kind of envelop the other panelists and the other people that hang out over on this channel. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, brother.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Hell yeah, absolutely. And here every week with without missing a beat. You'd think you'd be at a zoo, but that's not the case. That thumping, that grinding you're hearing, that's Rhynoverse. What is up, brother?
I don't have to go to a zoo because I live in one.
That's fair. How many dogs do you have now?
I only had 2 dogs, but I also have 2 other animals around here that really run the roost, if you know what I mean.
It's like having 4 kids, right?
Or 4 animals.
Fair.
If you include the wifey, then 5 animals. I kind of like the 5th one.
Don't let her hear that from you. And tonight we're welcoming a special guest panelist. Is not the first time being here for Legion of Comics. What's up, brother?
It's here to keep all y'all straight. Appreciate you inviting me. We're going to keep it on the rails tonight.
What if I wanted to be sassy and non-straight?
Oh, then we're going to do it. We're going to do that too.
Sassy.
I'm fat and sassy tonight. I hope you guys are too.
2? Yeah.
One of these.
Please.
We'll bring this ass. We can bring this ass.
Yeah, I'm excited because originally, just a little bit ago, one of you guys was like, are we really going to talk about just CBCS? Yeah, you'd be surprised. Something we get long in the tooth. The next thing you know, 30 minutes is done, and then we'll roll into New Comic Book Day. But I'm pretty excited. McClay, your show was great this past weekend. I know, Mark, this is not your first time talking about these labels, so if you want to kick it off and kind of tell us your angle on this. You shared something a while ago, didn't you?
Yeah, I shared these labels out 3 months ago, something like that, on my YouTube community tab, and then shared them out again when they were seeping through the cracks. I didn't try to go too hard in the paint with trying to share it and all that, but I try to keep at least my viewers in the know when I know something. You know, I'm not one of those people that like to keep secrets. I like everyone to get to enjoy in the news and everything, but it looks like they made it official. They're rolling with it, and they premiered these labels in a grand way at NYCC this week.
It looks like there was one big CBCS table, and that's where a lot of the pictures are stemming from online. McClay, did you see anything different?
Well, like Mark said, there's that image that's been going around since June, and then the image that they had, was it on the side of their booth with all the labels on the side of their booth, I imagine. And then they released a couple of videos, but here's the thing that pisses me off about it. If you're going to release this in a big way at NYCC, they need to be on your front page. That day that they released it, they had nothing on their front page about them. Like, it wasn't no big image on their front page. There wasn't anything other than a couple videos just like teasing it on their IG. So even to get decent images of it, it was hard to do for content creators. I know you're using that cheesy, unfocused image from 3 months ago, or you're using a screen capture from a video. It was a pain in the neck. So CBCS, do yourself a favor. If you're gonna drop some information like this, have it be splattered all over your front web page.
Yeah, make sure you think of the content creators.
Hell yeah, fucking A.
I gotta admit, McClay is right. Like CBCS did one like IG reel that I saw that it was basically an unboxing, but the people that grade comic books with CBCS and CDC have been doing unboxings for so long that the last thing they're going to sit through and watch is an unboxing of something that is surprise we're not telling you just yet. So many people probably scrolled right past that they didn't even pay attention to it.
I just assumed that they did that because it's like for NYCC, like that's been the nature of a lot of stuff for cons, right? Like if you're there to experience it, you get to experience it. It's like the benefit of being there. And then for all of us normies who don't attend that specific con, you get to play catch up the following week kind of thing. I didn't really think nothing of that. I mean, if I was at the con, I like that feeling of knowing like, yo, I paid all this money and took all this time to get here. I get to experience this person, be a part of the announcement and all that. I think that's a cool aspect of it, at least.
I would greatly agree with you that a con not necessarily associated like San Diego Comic-Con or one of the other bigger cons where they do news and like movie drops and like video game stuff. It was nice to see industry news related to comic books dropping at a big convention, at a decent sized convention. You're right. There's not a lot of cons that you go to that drop comic specific industry news that is something to be interested in.
I think this will be our last one for a while again, because like SDCC was the first time in a long time that was the tone of it, like where all the news cycling from the content creators to the social medias, it was all about comic book industry announcements and news, not the movies and stuff. And then NYCC, it had that same great vibe of a comic book convention where we got like, we're doing a whole show on the label changing the game because that was big news, which is legit big news, but that's awesome. But now that the writers are done with their strike, the actors are next, the next time the big con comes around, it's gonna be right back to that pop culture stuff, and the comic stuff will be gone again.
Mark, I've scrolled so far down your IG feed to find this photo that I can't even find it anymore. Like seriously, it was that long ago that you shared the picture. I can't even find it, and I'm like 14, 15, 16 weeks back now.
I post a lot. It would have been easier to use my YouTube community tab.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think I thought I reposted it on IG.
I know you did because that's where I saw it, brother. Let me pull that up.
It should have been recent because I reposted it during NYCC, I thought.
Ryan, brother, while I pull this up, remind me, isn't CBCS down in your neck of the wood in Texas?
The Dallas area. Yeah, they're in Dallas. So I've been by their facilities before. It's what's the way to say it? It leaves a lot to. It's very lackluster. It's just like a warehouse building, and it has a door, and you walk in. There's like a table with like a bunch of dusty furniture in there, and then someone will walk up from behind, and be like, "Can I help you?" Like, do you do grading? Oh yes, you're in the right place. Like, oh, okay.
I just DM'd you.
Stuff comes to.
I just DM'd you a screenshot, Andy.
Okay. I'm kind of embarrassed that it's taking me this long to find this.
Where is your skills?
I have none.
Well, I had a screenshot that I reused in a DM recently that I could get to faster.
I have zero skills.
You got skills to pay the bills.
And I wasn't, regardless of the source, when you posted that and set that up, I looked at it and I'm like, I'm kind of like, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not not questioning you or anything. I'm just like,
Happy to share information, not sources.
This is a little fuzzy as it comes up, but how long ago was this? 3 months, 3 months ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was I think that was before they moved.
That's the best picture we have, huh?
Well, from back then it was.
Yeah, from back then. The ones
Yeah.
from today, there's tons of them from today.
I don't
You can
even
just
know if
look
I
up.
ever saw anyone else post about it, and I felt nervous about posting about it for that reason. You know, I looked around and didn't see anything, and the person I got it from was like, "I'm like, can I share this? Like, don't say it came from me." I'm like, "You got it."
Right. Like you know what I kind of noticed when I was trolling around on YouTube and other places. There's some IG posts, but the bulk of comic book collectors aren't really talking about the CBCS labels at all. So that says something about this news drop.
You know what's funny about that post? It just makes me think that lends credibility to all the Bigfoot and UFO videos out there. Because everyone's like, why are they always blurry? Well, sometimes that's how it happens.
That's
just
all
how,
you get.
That's how it goes sometimes. Sorry, people.
Well, but it's always blurry with them.
Yeah, well, in
It's
this
not
case, the
sometimes.
early CBCS label reveal was always blurry. So
I've been sitting here clicking this screen trying to get the picture to pull up, not realizing, oh yeah, I got to go over to this screen and pull the picture up. Black Market Comics posted this just the other day, and this is probably one of the clearer shots that we can see, and a fair bit of comments from people out in the community. So you get the basic blue label. I like that they added the background. This is just my personal opinion. I like that they added the white background. A lot of people said that shouldn't matter. I particularly like that. It's when I'm trolling around at a convention or somewhere else. I want to be able to see not just the grade, but this is still one of the biggest gripes that CBCS and CGC hasn't even fixed it yet either. This is an issue with CGC as well. Is they've got that entire label of real estate. Both companies have that entire label of real estate. And why do I have to squint or get a binoculars or a microscope out to read the label from 4 feet away or 5-6 feet away? I mean, yeah, granted, I have not the greatest eyesight, but if you think about it, who's collecting comic books? It's 40, 50-year-old people. It's not a bunch of 18, 19-year-old kids
people losing their eyesight.
People losing their damn eyesight.
Exactly. I agree. I just tested it. I held one here and then I held it back. I'm like, I can't read none of that at arm's length. That's on me, I guess. But you think that they should enhance the size of all the print on the label?
I do. Why have all that dead space on the label and not use it?
I mean, you know, sometimes we have some of these books that have a lot of credits. You know what I mean? Do you think that would mess? Like even talking with these CBCS labels here, it looks like they're using the same formula of like the name of the book, the issue number is larger, bolder, but then all the credits and the key information is smaller. But it looks like despite how much credits or key information is on there, it's all going to be the same font size for that uniform look. You think they take that into consideration, or they should just expand the font size based on the book itself and just block it out with black ink?
I don't know. I think McClay said it best. Both grading companies should hire comic book artists to do the labels for them.
Yeah,
Draw
I think
Roy
not only
his face instead of put his name.
I think that not only that, I think that the community can come up with a better. There's so many great, at home digital hobbyists, that can totally come up with a better label than this. That 10 should have no blue on it. It should be all black and gold. You're already at Beckett. Copy the Beckett all black. That is one of the most prestigious things in collectability.
I've never seen that. That'd be cool.
And they even did another echelon of a perfect 10, like with their cards. Let me rephrase that. Yeah. Beckett did that black label with the cards for a 10, which is
all
beautiful.
all gold lettering.
And then they did the all gold lettering for the prestige 10 or perfect 10 or whatever it was.
Yeah. So that 10 should be all black with all gold lettering. And then if it's a signature series, the gold lettering should have a yellow outline. The 99, I mean, I don't even know why have a 99. Just if you're gonna have a 98, just have. If you're gonna have, I don't know, man. But the 99 and everything below, you could figure out a regular thing, and then with the 99, maybe. And if you're gonna have your regular labels be blue, have the 99 be like blue holographic, right? There's not gonna be very many 99s. Make the blue look like a refractor. You're not spending a ton of money on it, and have it be like holographic, and have the 99 be in a little bit of a gold holographic if you want. But you can spend more money on the 9, 9, and 10s because there's not going to the labels, right? You know, spend an extra 75 cents to get refractor put on there or all black and gold lettering embossed, that type of stuff. But overall, the regular labels, you know, I think that that's a very great conversation to have. Do we even want the blue coloring, right?
Yeah.
Mark, you were talking about that before. Like, do you want the blue? Do you want the blue?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I think for one thing, like this isn't cards, you know, this is comics, so that has to come into play, and there is an industry standard set for comics by your competitor. You know, it isn't like they're coming in here and they're inventing the game; they're coming in and participating in the game, and the lion's share of collectors are going to want to know a blue universal label. Now, that's just the standard. It is so that when people in their 30s and 40s who are collecting comics and our eyesight's going bad, we can stand across the room and we can recognize that over there is a universal label. I'm interested. That over there is a
somebody else is interested too.
I'm interested, kind of thing. So that helps in that aspect, you know, because if they didn't do that, you would have more people critiquing their decision not to do that. Now, with that 10, the 10 and only the 10 specific, I think that's an interesting point to set themselves apart even more, because just looking at that black corner box with the gold 10, that looks prestigious, like you said. That you use that word and it definitely applies. And I just pictured that across the whole label, really setting itself apart, because no other company does that. You know, CBCS dabbled in the pink labels. They called it red, but they were wrong. The pink labeled for their verification things, and people hated it. And CGC has the green and the purple, and it just means avoid it. So I think having something that's outside of blue and yellow that would actually be appealing, that would be the first ever in graded comics, that where you see blue and yellow, you run to it. Any other color, you run away. But if you see black, you better go check no matter what book it might be.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
You know, like instead of like the gold lettering, they should just, I think what you were saying earlier, McClay, you're like, maybe you could have like a gold 10, like a silver 9.8, and like a bronze 9.6 or something like that.
Ugh.
Yeah. I mean,
or another whatever, just like a reflective.
CBCS has proven they don't do color patterns very well. You do brown, it's going to look like that piss yellow that they've been using for the past 4 years on their signature series.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's something that's reflective though. So like a metallic, like gold or metallic silver.
Yeah, how much you want for that shiny turd up there?
Yeah,
I mean, credit to you guys. I agree that if you want to go 10 and make it gold, make it prestigious, make the whole label black, and then use the white accents that are there now. Use those to differentiate your yellow and your blue. Is it universal? Your accents are blue. Is it signature? Your accents are yellow.
That'd be so cool, wouldn't it?
That would be pretty dope. Like, that's a good way to pick it out and have it stand out. I mean, I'll cut to the chase and I'll say this, because what's the funniest thing about this news coming out is how many people have jumped into the chats and stood up and said, it doesn't matter, I like my books raw. Well, then why are you coming? I mean, like, there's so many people jumping in there that, like, this doesn't matter, I like my books raw.
I saw a massive online reseller, like massive influencer, say that exact comment. I'm like, yo, dude, you literally flip thousands of books a week graded and raw. What are you talking about?
Like, it's a, people are posting the content to talk about graded books, and people that don't like graded books are just getting in and either bashing it or supporting it, whatever, either way. But it's just funny that just kind of goes to show that people aren't necessarily there to talk about the topic at hand. They're there to just talk.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to put it out there as somebody who is completely don't give a crap. I have old CGC cases. I have old CBCS cases. I have PGX cases. Like, because I care about the book in there, but I like it in the grade. Like, I don't care if I could get it for a good deal. Great. I'm very excited about this from that perspective of that kind of collector that I am. And it makes me want to take a couple of these books that I have that are signed. Like, I got my King Size Hulk signed by Steranko when we were at Heroes, Andy. And I had no intentions of ever getting it slabbed because I don't care for the yellow label enough to do it. Like, I got plenty of those yellow labels from CBCS, but I'm happy enough with it raw. But now I'm like, yo, I'm going to send it in to get slabbed with one of these new labels and put one of those into my PC at least. And it'll be fun to be able to display it easier and stuff. So I'm definitely going to give it a shot, get one in the hand and see how it works. And I could get it at least 3 feet in front of me.
Try it out, feel it out, see how
Yeah,
it
because the
goes.
cases, you can't beat the cases. Impossible. CGC cases are like a Corvette, but a very unsturdy Corvette. The CBCS cases are they're top of the line for protection and durability.
Are they rounding the corners now too?
Man, the main issue with CBCS cases is they're not like if you stand them upright, they're not symmetrical. Like the front is rounded, but the back is slanted. So even if
that
you put it,
sucks.
so like even if I put it on like one of these cool little stands that Kid Rano Prints on Instagram made, like you put a CGC on here, it stands up vertical, right? And this gives it that little bit of support it needs. You put a CBCS on here, it's meant to fall backwards. It's trying to fall back, and this little weighted thing even can't hold it. So that's the only flaw in their case design.
Yeah, they need to. It looks like they're rounded corners, and I think that's super cool. I think rounded corners is a great idea, but they got to fix that if that's an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody watching live tonight, please drop your opinion. We definitely want to hear from everybody else there that's watching this. And if you're watching this on the replay, leave a comment. I've never sent books off to CBCS. I'm still considering it, but I want to hear from the people that have been using CBCS regularly or people that are devoutly CGC only. I want to hear what other people have to say because my opinion doesn't even really matter for that fact, but I like the fact that they changed the font with the numbers, but I don't have a good example to show you. The 4 looks terrible in this font, though. It looks atrocious.
Yeah,
they're big though. At least they're big. It's a big 4, Andy. It's a big
I'll admit
4.
I'll admit. I'll put my hat, or I'll stand on whatever mountain over here, or stand on this hill or grave or whatever you call it, to say that this is a step in the right direction, in my opinion, for CBCS. It might not be a grand slam, it might not be a touchdown, but it's definitely yardage gained, in my opinion. I think this is a step in the right direction, but it's not quite there. It's
just throwing it out there. You got a lot of people in the chat and some good comments.
Oh yeah, can't forget the chat, man, for sure. CJ with the gold. Somebody that I have not seen in the chat before had great comments as well. Jay Carter, I think these are better, but I really like the refractor idea. That's where a lot of people are. This is your time to shine. More often than not, grading companies take 9, 9s, and 10s based on the value and bump them up a grading tier anyway, so they're making more money. So why not throw that extra buck or two in the label, or 75 cents or whatever? I agree with McClay and you guys there. Bigger lettering would be nice. Seriously. Anybody that's out there collecting graded comic books, very rare are the young and adventurous that have perfect 20/20 that can read that crap from across the booth. It's not crap, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. Izzyverse. I almost threw Izzy an invite to tonight because he was there and saw them in person, and I completely forgot to shoot Izzy an invite, man. I apologize. Saw the labels up front. They look nice. I like the labels, but 9/9 is off. I agree with that. Why is the background on the 9/9 blue? Still not a fan. Like you guys said, if it's going to be universal blue label, keep that background the same color, unless it's that prestigious 10, or I guess I could see them kind of trying to differentiate the 10 and the 9, but
yes, that's just the trend. If you're a grading company, your 9/9s have to look terrible.
You know what? I've got 2 9/9s here to show off from CGC. One of the original, I think, Gen 2s and one of the Gen 3s, and how atrocious those look too. Let me get through some of these comments. You got an email saying they will give a new label for $10.
Oh, nice. That's like just a reslab, right?
Maybe
a reholder.
Yeah, CJ, we want to know everybody's opinions. I appreciate comments and anybody in the live chat. Mr. 89, you're just poking them for the fun of it. Black needs to be bolder. Other than that, the new labels and cases are perfect. Who's CGC?
There you go.
What I'm interested in is we kind of segue in and keep showing pictures and comments on the IG is, do you guys think this will have a long-term impact on the secondary market? Do you think every time CBCS makes an improvement or a change in their case design or labels, that it always kind of comes up, this will be the time that they start making headway against CGC's secondary market values, and yet it's never actually happened? Is this going to be the one that does it?
Can you say that question again?
Is this the change that CBCS needs to make to actually make headway on the secondary market value gains that CGC holds over CBCS? Like you said, CGC has forever, a long time, been the creme de la creme, or the coup de grace, or whatever vernacular you want to use to say that that they're getting the most value. Is this the change?
I would say
this change isn't good enough.
I would say yes, this is the change, but it's 1.5 years too late.
That's a great point, but I still don't think it's even good enough. I think that, listen, if these came out and every single one of us, the majority of us were like, holy cow, these look amazing. That's the change that needs to be made. Because one, we all know in the back of our head, the people that are really into grading know in the back of their head that for the most part, CBCS grades books at a higher standard, it seems, right? So you're going to buy a CBCS book, you have a better feeling about the grade. The quality of the case is better for most people that with CBCS, right? What all they need is the market change, and the market change has nothing to do with how they grade books, the cost of their grading. I don't know what it is. The only thing that I can think that it is people just don't like the look overall. That's the only thing I can think it is, because there's nothing else out there what else is causing it?
Yeah. So this all right. So I think it's it's a couple of things accumulatively. You have like the herd mentality. People use CBCS. So when people come into the hobby, or CGC, when people come into the hobby, they think that's what I need to do. That's what I'm supposed to do. So that's what they do. And people don't branch out. Like, you get in a groove and there's no reason to branch out. But if you rewind to 1.5 years ago, CGC was in the dumps with the wait times extending. People were waiting over 1 year. Everyone was trying to crucify CGC online every time they announced an in-house signing, all kinds of stuff. And what did the actual comic market do? They flooded to CBCS. They legitimately flooded to CBCS with their old labels. And what happened to CBCS? They immediately started seeing backups. They had to raise their prices. They had backups. And in just a few short months, they were in the same boat CGC was due to volume. And then what did everyone do? They immediately started crucifying them online and going back to CGC, because if you're going to have the same standards of customer service, not even customer service, their customer service is legendarily bad, but the same standard of turnaround times and stuff like that, they're going to take CGC again, just because that's just what their fallback.
Well, let's be honest. CGC's customer service isn't the greatest either.
I would my experience is fantastic. I can call them on the phone and they'll answer. That's something CBCS.
That's like a step up.
You can email CGC and get a response. You cannot email CBCS and get a response. And let's not forget that CBCS attempted to move facilities from Texas to where they are now, and they lost a ton of people's possessions in the process. They have so many marks against them right now when it was their window to shoot their shot. You came in so far behind your competitor. You have to get lucky and then take advantage of that moment, and they missed it. So
it also doesn't help when they lost all those books grading out of somebody's garage too.
That's what I'm saying. And the magazine size thing, that's a different topic, but I've seen those as well. Months ago, I've seen those magazine size books get beat on a desk inside of CBCS office, and they're perfectly stable, but they still haven't put them out. And in that time of not putting them out, CGC is putting theirs out. So they missed their shot on that as well. It's just, they're never going to get ahead with this kind of practices. They got to get more risky with stuff or something.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going to hit up a couple of these comments again really quick, because there's a lot of great comments in the chat. Steven says he only does CBCS, but I wish they would have asked the community for input instead of just almost copying CGC. Yeah, it's like sitting in high school and you're copying from your best friend, but you change it to there or there to the that, and you change a couple of the words that don't really matter that much. And the teacher's like, yeah, come on now. This is too much, too close to the other guy.
But everyone else, this whole time, all people have been asking for out of new labels, they haven't been saying anything but white boxes on the grade, white boxes on the grade, white boxes on the grade. That's all people have been asking. They do it. And now they're copying them. I mean, we want it to look similar. We want a standard,
we do need a standard in the community and collecting communities across the board. And the companies should be able to find a way to standardize that without necessarily copying. And that's what they're trying, right?
Mm-hmm.
CBCS with the QR code notes and signature verification makes it. I agree with like all the
Yeah.
pictures that are coming out of New York. Nobody thought to take those cases, flip them around, and take a picture of the back too. I can't find a single picture out of the New York Comic Con that shows the back of these new slabs.
Not even a blurry one.
They're what?
Because it's the only like the biggest changes on the front, so everyone's not even looking at the back.
Yeah, I get that, but it would be nice to have some confirmation that they're sticking with the QR codes and the other stuff that they had made that change to like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, and they were ahead of the curve with those QR codes, and what a great thing, a great tool to have as a collector and a reseller of comics. Because if you're shopping for stuff for yourself, you can hit that QR code and know every flaw, and if you can improve the book, and is it worth cracking and working on it and trying to regrade it. And that was they were light years ahead of the game with that, but now that's just the standard.
I love the QR code. I think the QR code is ahead of the game right now. I think it's too far advanced because we can't even get enough cellular signal in a convention to buy books with because everything's going Apple Pay, PayPal. You can't even get enough cell reception in the middle of a convention to pay for a book, let alone look up the QR code to see the grading notes. You got to take a picture of the QR code. I had to take a picture of the QR code with my wife's phone, put it on her phone, and then scan the QR code with my other phone after we got out of the convention when we went to lunch. I made it work. You can make it work, but like that QR code is amazing, but it's too far ahead of the
You just got to do all your slab shopping in the first day. After that, you let Saturday hit, it's over with. 2 packed.
That's true.
Does my camera look messed up, man? My camera feels messed up.
It looks good.
You look beautiful. I was going to ask you what kind of lotion.
There we go. You were saying I look beautiful because I had the little touch-up appearance. Look at the difference. I didn't know that.
Oh, you use that? Yeah, that thing makes.
No, I do not use it. Yeah,
it's that filter, that selfie filter that girls use when they say no filter.
Watch this, you guys. I was wondering there's something weird with my face. Watch. Look at this. Okay, can you see me now?
I see
Watch
you.
this.
Oh my God! Look at you powdered for us. You powdered for us.
You got foundation on, brother. Look at that.
It's off. It's on. It's off. It's on. It's off. It's on.
Shit's crazy, bro.
Well, it's interesting that comes up because I think all 4 of us had issues with StreamYard tonight after a recent update where none of our peripherals were accessible and it defaults to the old backup stuff.
Yeah, it defaults to terrible mode. Yeah. I
was like, what the hell is going on?
How'd you put that on?
Even CJ saw them in person. They weren't impressive, better than the old ones, but it's not saying much. I feel like a lot of people are landing in that kind of. You're doing it too now, Mark. I can see. There it is.
It took away all my face stubble.
Yeah.
It just went away.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it? I'll figure out what it does to my face later. Maybe I go.
Just do it now.
It's one button away, Andy.
It seems like a lot of the collecting community are in the band camp of they weren't really impressed, but it is better than the old ones. I'm hearing that from a lot of people. We're also hearing from a lot of people that they collect raw. I think I'm not hating on those people. I just think it's hilarious that like the first 3 comments on one post I went and looked, they're like, we collect raw, we collect raw, we collect. Oh yeah, okay.
Good job.
I came here for comments about the labels though.
Yeah. Good for you.
All comic labels by the companies are kind of ugly, to be honest. That's spot on for Taylor's response. Yeah, Taylor will give his response at 8:30 Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Money matters if CGC gets premium over CBS. So that's the thing. Yeah. Unless CGC makes another change to the point where, like McClay said, and Mark and Ryan said, that people come back and say, this is it. This is the change that they need to see. And then you'll start seeing that swing. I think it's a fair question to ask was this change good enough to affect that secondary market value that CGC has always held over CBCS? I agree with you guys. I don't think it's really going to peg the needle or move the needle too much. I think this is a step in the right direction. Quality and I think it's a better quality label, but I just don't think it's all the way there.
I want to get one of the CBCS guys on, like whoever their social team is or their PR team. I want to get one of those guys on the show and ask them, what went into this. Do you have an open mind to change it? Could it be changed if you come up with better ideas here soon? If there's because otherwise, then I just don't care. You know what I mean? But if there's hey, we have an open mind. If you guys can, if the community can come up with a better label, we're open, or better ideas, we're open to it, then I would be all about it. I'd be like, hell yeah, let's figure out as a community to try and come to better ideas and get exactly what we want in this. And then that makes it a reason for the comic book community to maybe jump over to CBCS on a regular standard. So otherwise, if they're already like, nah, man, we put too much money into this already, we're sticking with it. Then
Well,
fuck it,
how
I don't care.
much money goes into making
Exactly.
just an image? Like
Exactly.
That's what
we
I
all
think.
make images numerous times a week, every single week.
How many of us?
Exactly.
How many of us in this general age group went to high school and had like business art class where you would go into a computer learning room and you'd learn how to make business cards, you learn how to make PowerPoint presentations, you do all that jazz. I can remember making labels like this 25 years ago.
Ironically, I did graphic arts. We're on light boards with X-Acto knives, like doing magazine layouts.
Now, granted, I did nothing anywhere near the quality of this is, but I knew when I made a mistake, I knew what to do to sit down and make that change and reprint things. So I can't imagine they're financially too deep into this change. Like, I would think that you could just go in where technology is today. You would think, and I'm more than likely wrong on this, but you'd think you'd sit down at a computer, make some editorial adjustments, and hit print again.
I agree.
So like I had photo class and we used to develop film, so I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I did that as well, and
like I'm old, I guess, to compare to the rest of you guys.
like cutting the film and putting the reels down and adjusting the photo. Yeah, like this is
the black room and the smelly stuff and all that jazz. Yeah.
Well, it's not like they're ordering these out and having somebody third party them. I highly doubt that. They can't achieve the turn times they are achieving now if they were third partying these labels with a different supplier. They'd have to. They have to be doing them in house.
At least I'll give them this. At least their font is a little bit bigger than CGC, but it's still not big enough to even like. It needs to. They need to have a huge title on there, right? Massive title, and underneath that, like, we don't have to see a lot of blue-white space. There's too much blue-white space there. Make the font be on there. We want to see what it is. I just don't understand why they have to have so much open space on there.
Oh, is this gonna work? I don't know. It's not gonna let me zoom in.
Yeah, look at all the open space on that, dude.
See, there's two the 9. So why were there different colors again? Yeah, why were the yellow ones there?
See, that's the signature series. But so why is this down here?
So they're just removing the yellow, the label, everything's blue label, and they just make it a signature with making the letters that color.
So here's your signature series.
That's pretty cool. I can deal with
that.
But
why is this universal? Why are the 9 and the 10 on the universal they look like they're yellow? Is it just the lighting?
They're gold.
Yeah, they're gold reflecty.
Which is cool. That's cool. But man, there's so many better things that they could do. And it really blows me away that they're owned by a collecting card company that is so close to cards, and the refractor levels on cards and how good, prisms look and certain, variants on cards, they look gorgeous. And to spend that money just a little bit to make that label look gorgeous is not a hard thing. It's not a hard thing to do.
Oh, I want to bring up Glenn's comment here, because this is wholeheartedly one of the biggest things that needs to change in the comic grading industry. Is they need to provide grading notes. CGC does now, right? Grading notes are free. Graders
if
notes
you're
are
lucky,
free, right?
If CBCS has grading notes.
If you get them though, that's the thing. Glenn says,
no, they come with it.
I believe there should be
Not
grading
all
notes
of them,
given
though.
with every
CBCS that comes with all of them, not with CBC.
Yeah, CBCS comes with all of it.
Yeah, they do now for even 9/8 and everything.
Yeah,
Everything.
they always have since they started doing the, especially since they started doing the QR codes.
That was one of the things I like. So I will say that I probably 80% of my graded stuff is CBCS. In fact, I would say at least let me think about it. I would say 80% of my science stuff is CBCS, because I had a friend who was a facilitator for CBCS, and so that's why that was just the most convenient way to go. And they had the best graded stuff. So, but yeah, I got some stuff is CGC, but I like the notes because I can say, okay, what are they talking about? And it kind of makes them hold true to the grade, because if they have notes that prove or to say why they gave it that grade, it's kind of hard to say that dispute it, or if you do have a dispute, you can kind of go to this with it. Well, here's what they're graded. Let's dispute this. You have something to work with. CGC, they just put the grade out there, and that's why you say you don't know if the guy got laid the night before or not, because they don't. You have no idea
he had a bad
why the grade was why he got the grade that it did.
Yeah.
And so, and I just, again, I go back to the fact that I just wish that as any other company, they stand behind their work. If they put a grade on a book and you send it to get graded by them, you should get the same freaking grade. It is not, you shouldn't have to change it because of whatever reason they graded it. The guys put it, and so if it does go back to CGC and the guy does put a ding in the cover, okay, note that that's why the grade was different, or to say, well, we cracked it. It was cracked by us, so we'll accept responsibility. So we're not going to change your grade and grade it by us. Now, if you send it somewhere else, you might get a different grade. But
why do that if everybody's submitting? We'll click the little box on the bottom that says you cannot hold them liable. Now they have no financial responsibility for anything that happens on their end. They don't have to. People already agree to it. That's the industry standard now, and everybody's lived with it for so long that they're not going to take on that responsibility financially for making those mistakes.
Financially, I get that. Like if you're great, if they're saying that they're not going to, if they lose the book or if they get destroyed or whatever that might be, they're not going to be responsible for it. All I'm asking is if they put a 9.6 on a grade on a book, just make it 9.6. Don't change the grade. Don't go up. Don't go down. Just relieve it. If you send it to us in this case as a 9.6 and we crack it, it's coming back as a 9.6. Just live by your grade.
Well, I mean, then that also opens up the whole other side of the coin is how genuine is their grading process if they don't regrade it? Because once it's out of their hands and you've cracked it and opened it and got it signed by somebody,
I'm saying they crack it. If they crack it.
Yeah, but once they put it in the artist's hands to sign it or the writer's hands to sign it, it's no longer under the control of CGC.
Correct.
Whatever that person does to that.
You still live by that book. So as long as that book stays inside that case, it'll always have that grade on it. But as soon as if someone was to buy the book from you and then go back and get it cracked and read it, they would have to know, because it'd be on the grader's notes, that this did receive a ding on it with the previous signing session. So it's on the grader's notes. So if you're telling the person, if you go and crack this and regrade it, it's going to probably come back a lower grade. But we're standing behind the grade we put on this book.
But then that opens up a whole nother can of worms, man. And then I can appreciate where you're coming from with this.
I'm just trying to think it through.
There's so many people out there there's so many people out there that manhandle books that now you're going to get books that, hey, here's your 9.6 that we promised you, but it's reholdered. It's labeled as a 9.6, but it actually looks like an 8.5.
Yeah, it takes away the guarantee. You know what I mean? It takes away the guarantee of the service. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they're being true to what their company's supposed to do, like that signature in-house and the regrading of your book should be two separate things. They shouldn't even be in the same room together. Like, I mean, because like you're guaranteeing the grade of the book.
Dog, they did your book dirty. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm so upset. I can't get over it.
They did you dirty. The only thing I would have done differently was paid that extra insurance money to have them cold press it after that to go through that process. That's the only other thing. It's you're paying the tax man, in my opinion. They did, Dog Man. They did you dirty. They really did. But
what'd they do?
You don't remember hearing about Ryan's Venom book?
Oh yeah.
I had a ASM 300 newsstand. It's graded a 9.4. I sent it to get signed by Todd and Michelini. Came back at 8.5.
That's a pretty
same grading company.
That's a pretty
same grading CGC to CGC, and it came back from a 9.4 to 8.5.
Yeah, that's too big of a.
That's
something. Yeah, that means that someone manhandled your book. But you see that happening all the time, like where people send in books and they come back.
That's to 3 grades lower.
Yeah, but
I mean, they would have to step on that bitch, you know,
or drop it, or like when they're moving it.
I think they dropped it.
The ground, like again, like when.
So then tell me where the difference is at then.
Yeah,
and that should
Can you see the difference?
They didn't give them graders notes on the 8.5.
It could also be the difference in like somebody might have graded your book too nicely in the past, bro.
But you know what?
That doesn't matter.
That is.
Well, it does matter if you're opening a book and you're just grading it. They had poor graders before. I mean,
but it's their product.
No, it's the book.
But
You're
don't they
tripping.
guarantee? Don't they
they're
guarantee
putting
it?
their-
CGC,
they're
they're
putting their-
guaranteeing that.
Mhm.
They're
After
putting
they
their,
put
their
it in
name
that
on
case, they're saying it's guaranteed a 9.4.
Yeah, but one thing that CGC has done is like grading used to be done 100% by the Overstreet standard. You know, Robert
Yep.
Overstreet set the standard of what constitute grading, what we look at, and even with the Robert Overstreet standard for grading, there is subjectivity to that. One thing that CBCS does, and they have harsher grading and more true grading, is they stand by that Robert M. Overstreet grading standard. CGC over time has started to move into their own sets of grading and their own little differences that set them apart from that. It's still a standard of grading, but the fact that they have changed little aspects of the way they grade things. If you bought a 9.4 ASM 300 5 years ago and you send it in for a signing event and it gets opened and it gets graded by their current standard, keep in mind CGC isn't even owned by the same people they were owned by 18 months ago. It can be different. That's just, I'm not saying it's fun. I'm not saying, hey, this is great. I'm just saying that's just what it is.
Different graders,
It definitely sucks. Different graders, different standards, different owners.
different experience levels. They hired a lot of new people.
Yeah, and
Well,
even if
you
you have
know,
somebody who's been in there, if they're given a new sheet, a new checklist sheet that have I'm counting spine ticks. How many do I count? What does this equal? I'm counting like inches. How long is this? How long is this like crease right here? Like they have a different metric of grading now than they did.
Yeah. There was a generalized grading like metric that was put out years ago, back when CGC was on like Gen 1 or Gen 2 cases, that showed, hey, 10.0, perfect, 9.9, one minor minute flaw, 9.8 could have up to 2 flaws. They had something that was floating around, and I found it years ago just Google searching, and I can't find it again, but there's not enough transparency and the changes being made over the years for sure on the grading process. That's protected. That's intellectual property for them.
Was it like Danielle, nerdy girl who shared?
This is a long.
That shared an experience she had at a con where she did like the CGC panel thing, and they had people in their panel like doing grading. They had like a checklist sheet. And they passed out books for them to practice on. Like that was really cool to see that, because it's kind of little insight into what goes into like the grading process, because I'm sure these graders are sitting there with like a metric sheet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you take your car to the dealership and you get that 32-point inspection, nowadays they finally list everything and give you a 4, 5, 6-page receipt of, here's your 32-point inspection, here's all 32 points that we checked. You know, it'd be kind of nice to see all those bullet points that they're checking on the grading.
That sheet should be, when you scan a QR code, it should have a picture of that sheet. You know what I mean?
If you go to a restaurant and you order a steak and you get it served to you, and the expectation is you go to another restaurant or to that restaurant 5 years later, you should get the same style of steak served to you the same way that you got it the original way. Not different.
I would like to think that too, man, but
that's the expectation.
Unless you're aware that that restaurant is under new management,
or has a new head cook, or has a different grill now, or has a different
or a different food supplier. You know, that's.
But they're still, if that's the case, the expectation is that you bought something or you got something for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You would expect to get a duplicate of it, and that they would live by what they put out there as, this is our product, and then not change it later on and say, well, this is our product. Sorry, the other one's not right, but it's the same company.
Ryan, brother, let's take notes and make this a whole nother episode, because there's a lot of meat on the bones of this conversation for sure. It's about time for a good old CGC versus CBCS live stream for the fall coming up here. I think there's a lot of good comments to hit up here. I think Izzy versus here hits the nail on the head. Presentation is important. And if CBCS starts pumping a little bit more time and money into their convention presence and takes advantage of the cons that CGC is not going to, that's one way that they can help edge out that market, or just be out there. How many people don't even know about grading comic books? A lot still.
Yeah, here locally, my LCS isn't like a facilitator or whatever it is where you can submit through your shop. But the other shop here in Augusta called Top Dog, you can submit through him. You know, he's whatever it's called, like a dealer, vendor, whatever it is, when they have an account. And he exclusively uses CBCS since he's been in business.
There's a lot. There's a lot of great comments to buzz through here. Really quick while you guys talk, I'll keep showing everybody, and if you guys pick one that you want to talk about for sure. There's one more topic about these labels that I want to segue into that I think is an important part for the market and for comic collectors to be aware of. And what right after we get caught up on some of these comments, because I'm woefully behind. We're gonna have to hire
No,
like a
Parker
producer.
Lee. I'm not asking it for my way. I'm asking it for just the way to advertise it to be. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. If you advertise it this way and you serve it this way, just serve it that way again, and
So-
and honor what you did.
Comics Journey has started helping out CGC at conventions. He's a witness now. Thought it'd be fun. And he just put a comment at the bottom of the thread that said he had Matt Nelson himself grade a book. And he told me to my face that the grader that receives it might alter the grade. But whatever happened, whatever happened to that
God.
pre like whoever owns them now, we always knew that they said the way that they did it is they had 3 separate graders grade the book independently, and then their assessments get pulled together to form the final grade.
Yeah, there's no way for them to do that now. There's not enough. They don't have enough people there to service the amount of books coming in, and I get that. But there's no business out there that their business model is to present something and then present something different or the second time, and then something different the third time, and expect it to be be successful and consistent if they're inconsistent all the time.
Yeah.
We just accept it as comic collectors. We're like, and they push back on it. They push back on it, and or we push it to them. We complain about them, and they have their stance on it, and that's it. And it's like you have to accept it, because what else are you gonna do?
Taylor, I'm sorry, I missed a crap load of comments. Anybody here that we missed their comment here in the live stream, please leave your comment on the replay after this posts. Just come back. You guys are subscribed to the channel. Come back. I feel really bad that I'm about to miss.
Well, just throwing this out there, Andy, like y'all shouldn't wait. You don't have to wait. If you just back out of the live chat, you can swipe it and you can actually leave the permanent comments during the live stream. You don't have to
do
wait
that now?
Yeah. So like where the live chat is, you can swipe. That's on mobile. I don't know what y'all do on desktop these days.
I'm sure there are a lot of people here watching tonight that are watching on mobile devices for sure.
Yeah. So just swipe over, drop your comment on there. It helps with the algorithm. It helps with the discussion for it to go on well after the stream does. So definitely do that.
Yeah, it really does. And hit subscribe. That really does help out the channel and the algorithm as well, because Comics Curing Cancer is coming up this weekend. And this is a nice little plug to say, don't forget to be here for Laugh for Life this Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m. And the more people that we have here aware of what's going on, the more jokes people are going to bring, the more fun we're going to have, the more money we're going to help raise for Comics Curing Cancer. And I heard that there are 80 prizes for the prize wheel for everybody that donates $50 or more during the event. Right, Mark?
Yeah, to be clear, like we're at 80 prizes on the prize wheel. There's still stuff coming in. We're over 136 items on the final auction day. And on top of that, Big Time Collectibles just shipped over 25 slabs today to us, including medals, exclusives, key comics, signature series. I put a post on the IG, and it's too much to show individually. It's just looking at the tops of the book. So that number that we have just went through the roof, and who knows what else is going to show up today. A lot of people have reached out and sent stuff that still hasn't arrived. So it's massive. The response from the community to jumping on board and participating is just absolutely stunning.
Yeah. It's been massive. I am absolutely shocked at the number of items that are going to happen for this auction on Sunday. And I don't think there's enough time in the day Sunday to run them all. It's going to be absolutely insane. I'm looking forward to it. There are a lot of items that I want to bid on, especially this really, really cool Daniel Warren Johnson original art Optimus Prime piece that I saw. I'm like, I'm going after that.
So yeah, if you go to my YouTube shorts, you can watch him draw that live. So me and DJ battled it out. To be fair, I battled it out with the security guards at Heroes, because when I buy a VIP pass that says 30 minutes early, it means 30 minutes early. So I made sure I got my ticket. I got a drawing. Becker was on the floor. He gave DJ his ticket, and I had Optimus Primal drawn for me. It's in my collection. and it's not leaving. And DJ got that Optimus Prime piece for C3. It was a good time, man.
It's dope. And if you guys got to bounce, there's one more thing we're gonna have after a couple of comments. If you guys got to bounce, just bounce. We don't have to run New Comic Book Day at the end, McClay, but we can if you guys want. But Genuine Article Comics is absolutely the point that was floating around in my head that I couldn't just spit out was the grade shouldn't be honored if it's cracked out and the chain of custody is broken. That's kind of the point being that they're getting at is you lose that certified guaranteed aspect of CBCS and CGC if it's the chain of custody and the case is cracked. It's
but I 100% agree. Not broke.
It is as soon as it cracked open. But I will say this: if there's a grade difference like you received, they need to address that problem though. They'd be like, "Yo, this was a 9.4."
It was a 9.4.
It was a 9.4 to an 8.5. This isn't simply just a regrading difference. Something happened to this book. They're never upfront when they make an error if they drop a book. You see those stories all the time. If they would come clean about that kind of stuff, address it, correct it, offer a credit.
Yeah, just buy. All they have to do is buy another one. Just buy another one and give it to the person, whatever that grade was going to be.
Or at bare minimum, start the conversation with, "I'm so sorry, something must have happened. We honestly can't account for it, and that's on us. We would like to offer you the FMV difference toward our services." At least start the conversation there.
Yeah.
Don't expect the customer to be happy with that, but at least start the conversation.
I have heard of people getting severely spanked when it comes to situations like that, and they've cut checks in the past. They've done insurance claims and cut checks, and we're talking golden age, silver age books to the tune of thousands of dollars of swings in the grade, tens of thousands of dollars of swings, and people, you have to go to bat and you have to get a lawyer involved sometimes.
So the chain of command, real quick on that deal. If I understand chain of command, I have a book, I give it to CGC, or they get the book from the grading. So if I have a book, I take it to someone to get signed. They take or let's just say normal. I got a book, I give it to CGC, they grade it, put it in the case, and then it comes to me. If I send it back to them and that same case has not been cracked or anything like that, chain of command has not been, or chain of whatever it was.
It is if they hand it to an artist. The second it touches an artist's hands or somebody that doesn't work for CGC.
The second that you crack the case, the grade is null and void. That split second that case makes the first crack, that grade means less than shit.
So then why? So then
nothing matters anymore.
Why did it matter when they took it from me and they graded it?
It didn't matter. The grade, that 9.4 evaporated. That serial number was deleted the second it cracked open. It's just like that book would never been graded before. That's how it works.
That's why I don't
crack a book open.
That's their way to not back their thing up.
That's everybody's way. That's how you, like, if this is a true, honest company, if they did everything perfectly, corrected every mistake ever made, never messed up a single person's book, that's exactly how it would be. CBCS, CGC, PGX, any company, if you're telling me that this book is a 9.8 as it sits and I crack this open, you can no
I'm not saying you. I'm saying they cracked it.
Anybody. If this slab gets, it does make sense because it's this is what keeps it in that. This case is what guarantees it. These seals, these wells, everything about the CBCS, CGC case is what guarantees that. If this case is compromised, you can't guarantee that. If this is cracked, you can't tell me moisture didn't get in there. You can't tell me X, Y, or Z. It's no longer guaranteed.
I can see that if someone else cracked it, but if the company degraded it, locked it in something, and then took it back and reopened whatever they locked it up in, the same company that put it in there, and no one sets it in between there.
But that's in the fine print that they don't guarantee the grade back.
Yeah, that's why I said they need to address what happened while it was in their care.
Yeah, the
grade is, like someone said, like, grading is subjective. There's always going to be a margin of error with grading. If you have like a golden age book that's a 4.0, it's a 4.0 give or take if you take it out and let someone else regrade it. There is a margin of error. But for something that happened to yours, they should have addressed that, like something went wrong while it was in our care. It could have gone up. People's books go up as well in these situations. They don't only go down.
I know. But I've had like situations where I'm like, I get a book from CBCS, and I'm like, well, I want a better grade, so I'll send it to CGC.
Dan said it's like removing the tag from the mattress. Exactly.
Hold on, I'm getting. Oh my god, I'm getting there. We're pretty much caught up with comments. I want to segue. If you guys got some time, there's one more thing to touch bases on, and it's going to be a short one after we get caught up here. But yeah, grading is never and has never been an exact science. Genuine article is right. I appreciate all the new people in the chat tonight and leaving comments and their opinions. Please do it like Matt said, or Mark said. God, I got Matt Nielsen on the brain now. Like Mark said, swipe the show to the left for a minute so it minimizes it and leave your comment in the bottom of the video like you would if it was done. I wasn't trying to. Yeah, there you go. Oh, you're gonna show it just like this, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna. Can you do it? Show it again.
What? I just did it. Now I'm back out of it. Hold on. Go to
I missed the opportunity.
And
there it is.
Back to your channel.
I've never seen this done before on a mobile device. Because
what is he doing?
He can leave a comment on the video itself while you're live without doing a live comment. You can do that on the mobile devices now. On the mobile devices, old as I am. Parker with some great comments too. CGC says the mail service damaged the book like they did with me. I remember that. Then what can I say about that? It's like warranty void if you open the tamper tape. You see Ryan's point of view. It's more of a question of liability. The company's liable for the damage. It's like removing the tag from a mattress. That's pretty good. I think one of the things to hit on this before we close out for the night or before we get into New Comic Book Day is I think now is the most important for people to pay attention for the books they want. As CBCS continues to edge away and make changes that make that more appealing to the broader collecting market of comic books, and they start to potentially make that shift in the future, take advantage of that market advantage that CGC has with the value, buy your keys, buy your books now lower for CBCS, and then when that swing does happen in the future, have it reholdered with the new label or the new cases 20 years from now, and you'll pay a lot less than you did now for a CBCS instead of a CGC. Now, it just seems kind of silly in your head to think about, but you could save hundreds of dollars over the course of a year or two by buying CBCS books if they really are still carrying that lower market value. This is something that a lot of people in the community do that don't publicly talk about. Maybe Mark has. I don't see a lot of people publicly talking about it.
I don't talk about it. I just buy tons of CBCS books. I've got tons.
You buy tons of them, and other people will buy them, crack them, resubmit them through CGC, and sell them at a higher profit. If
I just buy them and keep them because they're cheaper, like those Silver Age keys. Now, I did take advantage of that grade bump. You know, I'd sent a book into CBCS that came back low that I wasn't happy with it. I cracked it, sent it to CGC, and it went from a 5.5 to an 8.0. And that's the first appearance of the Pro. That big of a difference.
Yep.
That's
as
huge.
I said. My thing, what I always said, if I want a good grade, or if I want the right grade, I send it to CBCS. I want a good grade, I send it to CGC.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things. Parker, speaking of big things, Parker with the $20 super chat, bro, I'm still thinking we ain't seen the bottom yet. I think a lot of people in the community are talking about that as well, that it's not quite the bottom. I will say this. I am really enjoying buying a lot of books that I like to collect for much cheaper than I did 2 years ago, for sure. There's no free lunch, Brad said. Again, any super chats the channel collects goes back into the community in the form of graded comic book giveaways. We're in the fourth quarter of the year, which means we are going to be collecting all the money out of the revenue fund. There it is. So you take the live chat and you just swipe it and you can leave a comment.
Yeah, I pay for YouTube as well. I don't know if that makes a difference. If y'all haven't seen it, I have I don't know if I have different features on mine or what, but I don't know what's exclusive.
I'm gonna check that out tonight because that's pretty dope. I'm gonna start leaving comments in the live and on the comment section of the video.
Comic Journey regularly will be in my live show, but commenting long threads in my permanent chats and not realizing it.
As I've seen that sometimes on our shows where people are like leaving a comment while they're watching the live, and I'm like, oh god, oh wow, okay.
That's why, because it's a newer feature, I think, and not everybody is used to the swipe yet, and it's not always consistent either. I don't know, but
yeah, it's true.
That's how I found out about it, was Comic Journey leaving a long, like 20 comments during a live stream on my on my comment section, and before he realized he wasn't in the live chat.
He did that on one of mine too. But this $20 super chat's a good opportunity to not only say the money goes back out in the community, we don't keep any of it. We'll be taking the money out of the fund and buying a couple of graded keys to give away towards the end of the year, a little closer to Christmas. We'll find some time to do a live community giveaway for that. And it's also a good opportunity to say there's 25 people watching live right now. Everybody hit the thumbs up button. There's only like 18. Keep smacking the thumbs up button because Parker, we're gonna leave your super chat up, but we're also gonna get into what, McClay?
New Comics Day. There you go.
I hate covering Mark's face though. I'm sorry, Parker.
This right here to me is one of the best buys this week story wise. This Spider-Man right here.
Oh, you lost me right there.
Actually, this sounds kind of cool. Spine tingling Spider-Man. It's supposed to be like a darker, scarier version of Spider-Man. And I love that shit. I love the darker stuff. I love the what Hulk is doing right now. I love the Flash is supposed to be going into a darker thing, and I kind of want to see that with a lot of the heroes that I follow. I think kids aren't reading comic books anymore. It's all adults, so we can have a little bit grittier tales and stuff. So,
is this one of like I was looking at this, but it didn't dawn on me. Is this one of the Marvel retro titles that they've been doing? Or is this?
I don't know.
I think that would be. I would probably pick it up if it was. I've been picking up all the retro ones.
It looks interesting. That's the 1 in 100. There's Perello.
That's a Liam Sharp, isn't it?
This right here. Perello? This is Juan Ferreira.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this is the Perello.
That's wicked.
Yeah. And then this is the Rod Rice. And this is, I remember seeing this thinking, man, that looks pretty crazy. Got a freaking axe or a hammer or something. And then there's the Scotty Young.
He even drew a little twisted, a little more menacing. That is cool. Do you know how many issues this is going to run for?
I don't, but check out this. Look at this issue right here. Look at number 2. Look at the cover for number 2. Yeah.
That's cool.
So, I mean, there's some really good covers coming out. This is the 1 in 25 for number 2 by Bjorn Barons. Yeah.
Yeah. What a unique take on comic cover art.
Yeah.
He just does 3D models in his computer, then screenshots them.
Is that all it is?
100%. Yeah, he literally just does 3D models.
It's great.
Yeah, 3D models, paints them, puts lighting on top of them, plays around with it, then he screenshots it. Andy, you're muted.
He put out a horrible cover for the second book that I'm talking about reading this week, which is the Batman. Let me go up to it. This is the second book that I really like this week. This World's Finest. Superman,
so
Batman.
Good. So good.
Did you read it?
Oh yeah, I read
Kingdom
it.
Come's my favorite shit.
Greatest story ever told.
I agree.
Greatest story ever told. So I read this one last Saturday because I couldn't wait, and it was amazing. It's absolutely. I got my copy here with me. How
did you get it last Saturday?
I'll talk about things, but I won't talk about sources. And I read that last Saturday. I read. I've been waiting on that because Kingdom Come is the greatest story ever told. And I've been waiting on the Godzilla Kong crossover. So I like that. I think it's because I'm partial to Kingdom Come and just I don't necessarily like it as necessarily a comic book cover, but just as just an image, it just I'm like, yeah, that's cool to look at for a second. I don't need to own it, but
I just think this is the worst Barons cover I've seen yet. And it's not bad. And the reason I say this is because
it's too clean.
He has put out the most amazing covers. His cover run lately, his Ghost Rider covers, I mean, has been next to So to see like a cover that isn't as great, I mean, it's not bad. It's just not as good. I don't put it up there with the other Bjorn Barons covers. And this is a kind of a bummer. I was really hoping that we were going to see an Alex Ross cover on this, man. I was really hoping we were going to see one.
That makes sense.
This is about as close as we get right here.
With it not, since Ross isn't necessarily working on. Mark Waid scripted it. He didn't write Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Which one?
The last one he just had up.
Oh, the little chibi one. They're doing that for the month of October. They're doing one of those for every title that comes out, pretty much. So there's a set with like 15 of them or something.
That just reminds me of my son and the dog and our dog at home that he plays with all the time.
Yeah, so for World's Finest, man, speaking on that, like we knew we were coming back to this if you've been following this run. It's the best ongoing title that DC's putting out, and it trumps everything that Marvel's putting out ongoing. It's pure quality with more on the interiors, but this is handled with so much reverence and so much excitement, and the way that they get into it, it leaves it open on both ends of the timeline for this revisit to Earth 22. So good.
Okay, Mark, is this where is this where I need to start?
This is a great jump on point.
No,
yeah,
don't start. Don't start. If you haven't read Kingdom Come, don't start.
Oh, I've read Kingdom Come, but I haven't read anything else.
Like watch this. Like there was a 4-issue story arc where a kid gets thrown through the multiverse, winds up with our characters. Kid turns out to be a young version of Magog. He gets thrown back to his own Earth at the end of the 4 issues. There you go. You're caught up. They want to go. They promised they promised this youngster that will check in on you from time to time. Yep. Well, now there's a reason. There's a need to check in on him. And that's what this is getting into.
Okay, I'm definitely picking this up tomorrow.
So good.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
just
that's
know
the
that,
second. That's my second reader book this week. You guys got any books that you like that are just readers only?
The Star Wars titles out this week. There's the Obi-Wan issue 2. Oh, he's got Obi-Wan. A Flash book.
This right here, Jeremy Adams' run on Flash was absolutely legendary. He reset the standard for what we expect for Flash, the Flash family. He recreated the modern dynamic in current DC Comics for the hierarchy of the Flash characters with a focus on Wally. And it was a shame that he's off that run. I'm a Cy Spurrier fan, but he's not the guy to write Flash. And it was a blessing when they announced this Jay Garrett Flash 6-issue miniseries. Phenomenal read. It has all the feels. Is just is so good.
In the middle. There you go.
And this comes spinning out of the new golden age era that Jeff John has ushered in over this year. And it has ties to like the Stargirl and the Lost Children, hence Judy Garrick right there on the cover, and reintroducing her back into her family kind of thing, where she is a retcon character, the golden age daughter of Jay Garrett. And it was so good. Mysterious, brand new first appearance of a villain in it, if that kind of stuff matters for people. But if you care at all for the JSA, the golden age characters, this checks off all the boxes perfectly.
Let's see here. So for covers only, this right here is my cover of the week. Yeah.
How often do
you get Al Capone Vampire, which is of course is the homage to the greatest skull cover of all time, Punch 12.
Yeah, it looks like a retro cover. That looks great.
I need this. If it's in my shop, I'm picking this up.
I'm actually sending my Punch 12 to Red Hood this week.
They don't do a lot of Punch homages.
Not normally, yeah. No. They should, but I'm glad they don't. So
okay, do you read Superman?
I don't read it right now. I read very little right now. I am reading that World's Finest stuff now because of the Kingdom Come stuff. I have dropped almost all my reading stuff, dude.
I remember you mentioned
here and there.
Yo, do you do any like digital reading or anything? Or are you all physical?
That's all I do. That's all I do.
Perfect. Yeah. Then I won't feel bad. Yeah. Joshua Williamson, his current run on just Superman proper, dude. You're kind of like me. Like you seem like you have an old head taste in comics. You know,
I do,
dude.
I do.
Read Superman and just enjoy smiling ear to ear. Like, for God's sakes, thank you.
Yeah,
like, that's how when you read Superman, like you close the issue and you're like, thank you. Holy crap! Like
that's what I needed.
Yeah, exactly. And like, and even if you're not a Superman guy, you read like, yo, this. Why aren't all comics being published like this right now? Kind of thing. Like how you get that feel from World's Finest. It's Superman's even more of that for that character specific.
Yeah, man. I love the Golden Age. One of my favorite all time runs is that JSA run.
Jeff Johns.
Jeff Johns is my favorite writer.
Like we said before we even started, I would follow him to the gates of Valhalla. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, Rebirth and Kingdom, Green Lantern Rebirth and Kingdom Come are my two favorite storylines in comics.
Yo, like coming back from being the Spectre and just the simple concepts that he thought of, working with the artist. Like if his suit is made of light, that means the black areas should be the absence of light. I'm like, it just hits so much. He's the one that made Sinestro stop being dynamic. If he's a dictator mentality, he would stand with his arms crossed and sling his ring. Like this
Yeah.
is just insane.
Yeah.
It was
Covers
overload.
covers that speak volumes right there. That last one, McClay.
This kid one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that right there. Every father that has a son right there wants that cover, in my opinion.
Now this is
Bermejo
like
has been killing it.
Yeah, this is issue 7 of this current run, but it's legacy number 850 for Superman. So this is what they're considering an anniversary issue. It's slightly oversized. It's $1 more, but you get tons more page count in this. So it was absolutely worth the extra $1.
I love this Finch cover right here. Yeah,
Yeah, he crushed that.
big time.
I should probably start doing homework and look at these a day in advance. I just hadn't had time. Blue screen.
Yeah. This right here is the Sandman universe. I love Sandman. I love this character. This is the 1 in 25.
Cool. Is that Nightmare?
Yeah. This is the Nightmare County stuff. Yeah. And dude, this is just creepy as hell. But they've been this Corinthian character has been a major character for since the original run, but they haven't really dived into him very much. And Tynan is doing this, which is amazing. So,
oh, that's worth reading then.
Yeah, this is the Red Sonja Frizen Heroes version. They call it the Modern Icon.
I call it the sideboard variant.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That's for sure. So, and then, but look at some of the other covers for this. There's the Bjorn Barons. Yeah,
you can always tell his work.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a 3D model picture.
Yeah. There's the foil Frizen, 1 in 10 non-foil.
His work makes old school breaks.
This is beautiful right here.
Wow.
Perillo Ultraviolet. Looks like Natalie Portman when you do Ultraviolet, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Changes her look.
Oh yeah. It goes from a 5 head to a 4 head.
So yeah, a lot of good books. Great variants always coming from Dynamite. They always have a couple that are really good. This is interesting. Miles Morales, Spider-Man #1, the 1 in 25, Ben Harvey.
Oh, look at the lighting on that.
Yeah. That's beautiful. So that's the 1 in 25 for that. This is the Adi Granov 1 in 100 for Invincible Iron Man #11. It's just basically him homaging himself. So if you're an Adi Granov fan, this Incredible Hulk cover looks amazing. This is the Lorenzo variant, and I don't know what it is, but I love this cover. So, and then
why don't you show the other Hulk cover with the yellow hair, the blonde hair? It's so terrible.
Oh,
yeah,
that's terrible.
Terrible.
That's
god
terrible.
awful.
Oh, you know who that is? That's the owner of the Raiders.
Yeah.
Hey, please tell me you're reading Big Game.
I'm not reading Big Game. No.
That comes out tomorrow from Mark Miller. It's I don't know how everyone's not reading it. Oh my god. It is.
I've been told I need to read Big Game as well.
This looks interesting. This Crypt of Shadows. This is a 1 in 25 from Bjorn Barons. Yeah, and it's a new series. It says reopening the crypt once more as All Hallows Eve draws nigh. The dust-covered slab that seals shut the crypt, blocking out the sun and crashing it forever in shadow, has creaked open to let the darkness loose to prey on the Marvel universe. Be they mercenary or mage, guided by law or rage, our heroes will face their terror, and they best pray their spines are sturdy enough for the job, or the crypt they may find what may well be their own. Why do they have to do that? Just tell us what it's about. But that's a cool cover. So, this is interesting series right here. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Have you guys been following this?
Somebody just brought that up in the chat.
Yeah, I just seen that from someone's NYCC haul. That little bear dragging the body.
Oh, it looks so good.
Oh, that's a body.
Yeah, that first cover he showed is a bear dragging a body.
Yeah. So this sounds very interesting. Small town serial killer, an upstanding citizen, and an adorable brown bear, Samantha Strong's cardinal rule. After all, there are a sea of perfectly ripe potential victims in a big city just beyond the forest. And when you've worked as hard as Sam to build a cozy life and a thriving business in a community surrounded by friendly fellow animal folk, warm decor, and the aroma of cedar trees and freshly baked apple pie. The last thing you want to do is disturb the peace. So, sounds pretty interesting. So we'll keep an eye on that. This is the Batman White Knights presents Generation Joker number 6, Rose Besh 1 in 25. I'm not a fan of it, but I know a lot of people will be.
I don't hate it, but I also don't love it.
Yeah, not a fan of the story's boring too.
Is it? Yeah.
Dude, I don't like these fill-in series. They did it for Harley Quinn, where it's in the White Knight universe, but Sean Gordon Murphy is not writing it. His wife Katana Collins is. It's like a placeholder to keep the imprint alive and in people's forefront. But unfortunately, they're doing important stuff with it, like introducing Wonder Woman as well as Jon Stewart into the universe. So it makes you have to read it if you're following the universe. But
That
it's
sucks.
lame.
My number 2 cover of the week should be number 1 in most cases. This is the Mastrazo 1 in 25 Ghost Rider number 19 variant. So 1 in 25. This will probably be on most hot 10 lists.
Every time Ghost Rider drops, it hits our radar. Every time a Ghost Rider,
Y'all reading it? Benjamin Percy's run? It's fantastic.
I haven't even gotten the chance to read it, but every time there's a banger cover out for it.
Yeah.
I read very little Marvel, but I swear by that Ghost Rider run.
And then finally, another one of my favorite books is this Dwellings book. I love Jay Stevens, and I love his art, and I love the idea of Dwellings. And if you can find the originals, go find the originals. But he's doing the same thing he did with number 1, where he reprinted it, and the regular number 1 cover is this, and this is the cover. The original version of this that he put out on his Kickstarter years ago is the original cover that got me into Dwellings. Now they're reprinting it on Oni, so that's what, if you guys see this cover with the Oni, that's the reprint.
That's $9.99 a book.
Yeah.
Is it like a 64-page?
I don't know how many pages it is. It is 72 pages.
Oh, okay.
Even better.
You are getting double. You are getting double the content.
And this is the 1 in 10. He did the bloody variant for the 1 in 10. So it's fun stuff. It's just fun, like golden age cartoon murder stuff. Creepy stuff. So yeah, this is Jay Stevens. Jay Stevens could be a total lookalike of Tony Fleece. Like they could switch. They could switch each other's attire and get away with it. So. But that is new comic week.
You're not pulling the big event that kicked off this week.
What's that?
It was announced at San Diego Comic-Con, like the massive crossover of 2 mega universes with legendary monsters and DC Comics. Justice League versus Godzilla versus
my god.
Like it's pure fan service fun. The interior art is done. It looks like this guy is channeling Michael Turner. And the 1 in 25 Dan Mora was by far my cover of the week. I'm a huge Monsterverse fan. Love me DC, and I love me when they do fan service for us. And they did not disappoint.
Justice League versus Godzilla, you said?
Yeah, Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. It's right there on the right-hand side. That A cover is a wraparound cover. You had Matina do a cover. Jim Lee did a cover. He also did a black and white of it for the.
That's cool, right there.
Yeah, that's the Matina.
Yeah, I like.
You have a blank variant as well.
I like that.
And that's the Albuquerque foil variant.
That's
and
cool.
That
right
now
there.
this is cool. Like this one and the next one with the Kong. These are actual sound effects covers. They command a $15 price tag. But much like a Hallmark card, when you open it, it doesn't sing "Happy Birthday" to you. It roars at you. And
what year is this? What year is this? It's 1998.
Let's do it. And there it is.
This
the
is
Dan
a great
Moore.
1 in 25.
Yeah, that dude. I had that.
That's beautiful. Yeah,
that's it. That's the truth. And it couldn't be timed more perfectly. We have Monarch Legacy of Monsters about to drop on Apple TV. We have Godzilla -1, the Toho return dropping in the States on December 1st. And then next year in April, we get Godzilla Kong, the New Empire from Legendary. And this will still be running when all of those things happen.
Yeah, the Scarlet Witch books. What's going on here? I know this was on my radar because of this cover. Not this cover. It was maybe a cover before. But is anybody reading this? Is this any good?
It might be. I'm not reading it.
I'm not reading it either.
I haven't heard anybody talk about it, actually.
It's Marvel, so the standard would be no.
Yeah.
No. That's a no.
That's going to be a no for me, dog.
Look at that cover right there. Wow.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Whoa.
Oh,
This is
I
my
like that. There we go. Look at Justice right there, front and center. I hadn't seen him since the Marvel Masterpiece cards.
Yeah.
Doesn't this remind you of Starman from
John's run.
JSA series? Yeah.
Yeah, he
That's
was
my
kooky
favorite
as hell.
costume of all time, dude. He was one of my favorite characters too. He's all fucked up in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good
Wow,
cover right
holy
there.
crap.
I
Look
like
at
that.
Yeah, Dustin Nguyen.
Hashtag Cosmic Cheeks.
Yeah.
What about the 2 Star Wars titles that are out? Were those ratios any decent?
No, they're actually pretty bad. Yeah. They're
Crap.
actually pretty bad.
Those actually hit my pull list, and I'm like, man, those are really cheap this week. They must not be super great. Yeah, I think the 1 in 25 for both of them, I'm getting for like $9 or something like that. It's like
Nice.
cheap.
Hey, that's a good deal.
Yeah, the Star Wars Dark Droids, the number 39 Star Wars is terrible all across the board. That's the 1 in 25, garbage.
Oof.
That's the John Tyler Chris garbage. And there's the 40th anniversary,
like
which is it's okay, but it's nothing to write home about. And then there's
That's
the
terrible.
15th anniversary garbage.
Is that a Jabba the Hutt fetus?
Yeah, that's the one that they little baby that Ahsoka had in her backpack.
All right, so is the Obi-Wan
dying fetus at the end of the month?
Is the Obi-Wan stuff just as bad?
Just as bad. It's got the goofy, what's his name version of him.
Hey, there's that guy from the Eternals.
I kind of like that.
Nobody wants. Why?
Yeah, that's super.
And they're about to take it right.
Yeah, it's a Bacta tank. Who cares? That's terrible. It's Raza, and it's not good. It's very rare that you say a Raza variant is bad. Yeah, but what is this guy's name again? The
Grand Inquisitor.
Grand Inquisitor. They ruined him by not making him look like he should in the comics, man.
Yeah, I find a different level of value with those, just reading those with my son after watching the episode. So
there you go.
Yeah.
But dang, yeah, wow. Explains why they're so cheap tomorrow.
Oh, Brian, you're reading John Stewart. Philip Kennedy Johnson is on issue 2's drops this week of his John Stewart.
No, but I have it bookmarked to check out. It's actually right. I pulled it up just a second ago.
Yeah, it's Flea. It did look like Flea. That's the first person that came to mind to me.
Flea.
Ooh.
Local Man's coming out too.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's such a great concept. You know, Earth is quarantined for ring slingers, but John Stewart's kind of trying to retire, and he's got like a farm with his mom, and he has a construct of his dead sister living with him, and his mom's not even aware that it's a construct. So he's got some
that's weird
that he needs to get through. You know what I mean? But like,
yeah,
so kind of touching on that like PTSD of his time as a ring slinger. You know, he's watched worlds die at his hands, unfortunately, and stuff, and a lantern from another universe comes to enlist his aid from the Reverend Queen that's coming. So it's going to be a great run. I think Philip Kennedy Johnson's the guy for the job.
Yeah, Green Lantern's my favorite DC character.
Well, Jeremy Adams and PKJ are helming both of those titles, so all stars on it right now.
Unfortunately, though, I'm a Hal Jordan fan. I know not a lot of Green Lantern fans are Hal Jordan's fan, which is weird to me. But, yeah, Hal Jordan's my favorite. I love the whole thing of the story of him going through fucking, you know, like we already talked about
the
him
parallax thing and everything.
Yeah, and then having to become the Spectre to atone for his sins. And
if you're a Hal Jordan fan, you're lucky. Jeremy Adams is doing Hal Jordan right now, and it's freaking phenomenal. And but if you're me, I'm a golden age nut job, and we're about to get the Alan Scott Green Lantern that releases next week. You know, they did Sandman last week, Jay Garrett this week, Alan Scott next week, all 6-issue minis. But what's his name? Sheridan, who did Teen Titans Academy, is on it, so it's probably about to be trash.
Bummer. Oh, bummer.
Yeah, I'm bummed.
Ooh.
Well, that was New Comic Book Day, gentlemen. What does that leave us with, Ryan?
Uno mas tingo. It's getting more and more animated every week.
Hey, brother. What you got?
I got tomorrow night. If you guys want to come hear about NYCC and all the stuff that happened. We're going to be talking about that on Wednesdays. And then Clutch hit me up and said, "Hey, I want to give away some goodies," and I said, "Let's do it." So if you're looking maybe to get a chance to win some of the rare Skybound variants that were given out at NYCC, there's a very good chance that we'll be giving away, either Transformers or GI Joe variants tomorrow night on the show. So I love the fact that Clutch just killed it with NYCC and what
on
he helped
eBay Live, right?
eBay Live. Yeah, he was running the whole eBay Live thing, and everybody that I talked to that worked with eBay Live said that it was amazing and they never had to ask for anything. I think that's the big difference that I'm seeing right now with how eBay Live and Whatnot are doing things, is that all you hear about on the Whatnot side is there's nothing but problems. But then when you hear about the eBay Live side, you hear, no issues. And not only is there no issues, like Clutch is making sure to show up at the live event to make sure there's no issues and do whatever he can to help. Stuff like that is a big deal, especially when you hear it coming from other retailers. So I'm really looking forward to hearing how all that went off behind the scenes and, see what we can expect moving forward at cons from, eBay Live. So that'll be tomorrow night.
Interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Got any comic drama tomorrow night, McClay?
No comic drama. I keep the comic drama to Saturday nights now, just because, Saturday nights are for the mayhem.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I still got the same thing going with my eBay store, putting new football cards going up. I've been I got a bunch of case hits that have been going up recently. So we're looking for some case hits. I just put up a Cowgirls. I hate even having it in my house, but so I'm trying to get rid of it as fast as possible. So if you're a Cowgirls fan, go look at the eBay store. I put some was there quarterback Prescott stuff up. Check out McClay's deal. I'm starting to get into more and more of the Discord deal. I'm starting to learn it a little bit more.
Fun.
It's like you have to get I have to let go of some social media so I can accept the new social media stuff that's coming around. Discord is really pretty cool. So if you haven't started messing with that, go ahead and start looking into that, because if you're an old head like me, it takes a little bit to kind of get an understanding of it. And then it's pretty cool. There's a lot you can do there.
You're not even that old, man. You've called yourself old head 3 times tonight.
I'll correct
46.
An old soul.
Oh,
I'm 36 and Discord makes my eyes cross.
See, I'm 46 and it's just a little, it's distance, but it's cool. It's pretty good. It's
pay my bills in
like
person.
Yeah. Mark, buddy, you got one more thing for us?
Oh yeah, Comics Curing Cancer kicks off this Friday morning, 7:30 a.m. right here on Legion of Comics YouTube channel. It's an actual official American Cancer Society virtual event that we host right here on YouTube, and we bring the community together like butt cheeks to run it over numerous streams, over numerous channels that host numerous fun events, all to raise money for cancer research itself. 100% of the funds go directly to the American Cancer Society. That's one thing that stands this charity apart from every other one. We have an official landing page on the American Cancer Society where you can go directly there and donate. Every purchase, every donation, everything goes directly to there. If anyone asks you for money that's not going to that page, they're not with us. And it's going to be a massive event like we touched on. It all culminates at a massive auction on Sunday night. Andy will be hosting a show on Saturday. I'll kick it off on Friday morning. We have Izzyverse NYC doing a show, Gary B, the casual comic guy, as well as DJ Links on Friday night, and Comics Journey all the way through Friday night, bringing us to Whack Comics, Bryan LCS, John's Comics with Kids. We've lined it up where it's just so much going on, trying to reach so many different audiences. We've already raised over $10,000 before the event even started, just from marketing, sharing, going on streams. It's a cause that affects literally everyone. There's not a single person on this planet who has not been affected by this true supervillain, and we're going to cock slam it this year.
Hell yeah, fuck cancer.
Hashtag cock slam cancer.
Cock slam cancer.
Yeah, I was told I can't put that on shirts. We're getting too big.
There's a double entendre in there.
There's probably 3 of them in there.
Parker says you had me at butt cheeks.
Yes, sir. And speaking of that, no joking, like so many community members really have stepped up to the plate. We have like last year our goal was $10,000, right? We did $22,000. This year our goal is 25. Before we even started, we're already at 10. We've had people go up to bat and commit to shaving their heads or beards, which cool, whatever. Lee from Whack Comics is going to wax his eyebrows if we hit 30,000. And the best part is I've already arranged it. He's mailing them to me, so I can be the owner of Lee's eyebrows if we hit 30K. And I'm going to put them on the Spectre, at least for a short period of time. But if we hit 40K, Tyler, ready for Wednesday, is going to get a tramp stamp. Like there's legit stuff like where this the gift that keeps on giving. Like people are really willing to step up and do some permanent extreme awesomeness to raise money for this. This is how important this is to a lot of people. So let's make it happen. Share it out. Go to Instagram. Like that's the only social media we've set up. Next year we'll have a website and we'll probably try to expand to more social media. But for now, we're on Instagram. The link to the link tree is in the bio where you can donate today, and you can even get put on a prize wheel for Saturday night. Anyone who spends $50 or donates $50 or more, and it doesn't have to be at one time, gets put on a prize wheel as a thank you wheel with slabs, all kinds of crazy stuff that we're just giving away. Like it's huge. It's a massive event. Go check out that link tree. Check out some of the stuff that's been donated. Big Time Collectibles sent 25 slabs today alone of signature series, all 9.8s, keys, medals, all kinds of stuff. There's like a first appearance of a Harley Quinn in there. There's Golden Age first Talking Tawny, Shazam. Like Golden Age first Talking Tawny in like a 7.0. It is insane, the stuff that we have.
Batman Adventures.
Yeah, Batman Adventures 12, the first Harley Quinn's going up. And like original art pages, actual like John Boy Myers sent in a full cover, like not just a remark on a cover, a full cover on of Jetfire on Void Rivals 1. Like the amount of stuff is just insanity. There's original pages from Spider-Man all over the place, just tons of stuff. So we're targeting the original art and pages at 1 p.m. on the final auction because we're reaching out to the artist community. Yeah, John Jang did that for us. He's one of the homies. He did that Optimus remark for us. And it's insane.
Yeah, and you guys can go to Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram and follow them there and see all the items get uploaded as they start showcasing everything that's going up for the auction on Sunday. And there is a tremendous, oh man, so many good comic books going up. That Void Rivals cover right there.
Yeah, John Boy Myers killed it.
Yep.
Whole page, the whole thing.
Oh man, there's so many good books.
Peter Cullen, yeah, and what's his name? Weller. He did the voices of Optimus and Megatron, and that's a metal.
Yep, Virgin Metal limited to 200. There's so many good things. I empower you guys, employ you guys to go check out Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram to see everything that's up there and all the original art being shared. Thank you, Mark. My one more thing is Mark's one more thing. Comics Curing Cancer. We're doing the Laugh for Life event, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday. But that means you're already doing all the Comics Curing Cancer things anyway, so you're going to land right on this because all of the Comics Curing Cancer shows are all being redirected from one to the other to the other. So while you're there hanging out, listening in the background, all you got to do is let it ride, and it's going to send you to the next one. That'll send you to the next one. Next thing you know, there'll be an auction going on, and we'll hit that $30,000 mark, and Lee's going to shave his eyebrows off.
And mail them to the Spectre.
And mail them to the Spectre.
From Australia.
Oh, boy.
International eyebrows.
Like you said, cock slam cancer.
Yeah, so and this sounds petty, but dude, people have the opportunity to score some like really amazing high dollar stuff at really awesome prices due to the volume of stuff that we have. You know what I mean? Like this is your chance to like pick up some great stuff and know that 100% of your money is going straight to there. Like we do everything. You're not paying for shipping. You donate money. We cover shipping, and it's just it's huge. Like it's.
Yep. There's actually 5 mystery boxes that are going to be landing on our Saturday show here on this channel. Those 5 mystery boxes are $50 a piece, and they're well worth their value. And I can't remember where they're coming from, but 5 of the 10 that were allotted are being sent over to that Saturday show. So there'll be 5 mystery boxes for sale for 50 during that
Now,
live stream.
keep in mind, all those mystery boxes have an FMV of roughly $100 or more. So you'll get that mystery box plus your name on a prize wheel with over 75 items and more items coming. So not only will you get that, I can't guarantee it, but it's almost guaranteed that you will be getting other free stuff with it because you made that donation for that mystery box. So it just, we try to incentivize this the best we can. Like don't miss out. Don't miss out. At the very minimum, if you can't participate, if you can't be there, everyone has lives. Sharing is caring. That's the number one way to help, is just to share that C3 page out, tell people about it, drop links, whatever you can do.
Yep. And we can send you guys all of the graphics so you can share on your social media aspect as well. And Ryan, yeah, we're closing out now, buddy. So thank you everybody for your time. Thank you for a great show. Like, we could have gone a whole nother hour on CBCS, but you guys know how we're gonna do this, right? We're gonna peace out. We're gonna pinkies out. We're gonna catch you on the flip side for the next one. Remember, the most important part all day, every day. Stay original and take care of each other, because we are all we have. And have fun. Later, everybody. Have a good night.
Peace.
Double up, double up, double up. The money I color. Excuse me while I change. The roller buggy has made me sweaty. Yeah, sweaty.